Yeah.
So I thought for today, why I invited you in is just so we can talk about the role, your role as a CEO of an organisation. It's a very aspirational role. And it's just to understand, the route to get there, but also then to be able to maintain that role for such a long period of time, which you have. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of learnings and challenges that you've had to deal with throughout that journey, which would be great to learn more about.
Sure.
So what's that journey been like for you?
I think the first thing I would say is that I joined GCS in '96 when we were 3 people. That was a long time ago, but not too far away. Still in Reading, still in leafy Berkshire. So I did university, French and English. For anyone that's done French and English probably knows that it's not going to set you up for pretty much any career. So you have to go and find something like recruitment. And the first thing really for me that I always say to people is that I love the job that I do. Recruitment to me is something, as soon as I did it, I thought, wow, this is fantastic. It's like a game, you're playing with like different elements, you're making things happen. You're involved in big decisions in people's lives. And you create happy customers, which is good, and so I really enjoyed the job. And when you join a business at the size that it was at the time, it becomes like your baby. So you really love the company as well. So for me, the journey starts with feeling, and this is, I think, any job, is feeling passionate about what you do, like loving it. And I think that's where it starts. And that's what, when I hire people, when I talk to people, when I look at candidates for jobs and that sort of thing, it's very much, are you passionate? Which is a difficult thing to quantify, and it's a difficult thing to say. I can see passion in you. I can see you have this charisma. You care about things. But yeah, I've started in '96. Joined the business, grew the business. We're now 150 people. I run another business which is about 30 people. So overall, kind of running business of probably about 90 million kind of turnover. So it's a big business now. But we started, in a small office in Reading and have kind of grown from there. And I think what's really important for me is the love that I have for the job and the love that I have for the company is still there. So as we talk about this journey, that's the thing that's driven me on. That's the thing that drives that journey. I think if you don't love what you do, then you won't be able to have that length of, time in this career, because it's not just about money. And I think if you don't love what you do and the company you work for, it's very difficult to be the CEO of a business. I mean, you probably work for places where, you look at leaders and you think, wow, this person loves this business. They live and breathe this business. And that's what I think really inspires other people. Like they think the leaders care, so they care.
I think that sets a culture for an organisation as well, doesn't it? If you really love it, then the people that are following in the organisation wanting to grow in the business, they're going to love it too.
Yeah.
Can I ask, so where did that love come from? So was that from an early role that you had in recruitment, or was it more broad in business? Where did you find this love and passion for what you do now?
Well, I think I did a lot of swimming when I was young, and I was a swimmer. Okay, so up to the age of 16, then I decided that swimming was a bit boring and parties and girls would probably be much more fun. But that level of input, like that kind of self-drive that you have to have in swimming, because it's quite a lonely sport. You have to get up very early, you have to go to bed, very late. You do mornings and evenings, and then all the weekend. And it's obviously not very glamorous, and it's also, you're in the pool all the time, so you never really get to speak to them. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down. But that really set me in my mind that if you work hard, then you achieve stuff, and it's all down to you, right? So for me, when I did recruitment, the things that I love about recruitment are, firstly, it's never, ever the same, Every single human being is different. Every single job is different. Every single transaction is different. And while human beings can be incredibly frustrating and difficult, which is the thing that always makes me laugh when people interview for a recruitment job and they say, I'm a people person. I'm like, well, yeah, you're going to see the wrong side of human beings in this job. But you do obviously like create futures. You know, you put a client and a candidate, you put them together, they fall in love, walk off into the sunset. You've got these happy customers. And I felt that for me with recruitment, that this was something that I could kind of put that hard work in, I could control, that I could, you know, be passionate about, but also that I'd never be bored. Like I'm never bored now, even on the worst days. You know, I once worked in a deli in Tesco's, you know, as one of my Saturday jobs. And I actually, when I grew up, was quite interested in like working in retail and like being like a Tesco's store manager. I don't know why, but it's like something I've always quite fancy doing. From working in a deli in Tesco's, I was like, I'm never working here. This is terrible. I hate this job. And we all know we've got jobs where we clock watch, right? Where you look at the watch and it's like, you know, you finish at 5:30 and it's 3:00 and it's like the longest 2.5 hours of your life. Whereas in recruitment, I always found that it's 5:30. I've got loads more to do, but I want to do it. So the day flies by. It's fun, you know. You're doing things. So that was what really set me off. I was good at it, you know. I could speak to people. I could communicate with people. I understood people's motivations. So obviously, you're always passionate about something you feel you're pretty good at, and that really helped me to gain a passion for that. Also, once you get into recruitment, you know, when you're working for the company or working with the candidate, particularly the company, the customer, you can actually be really like interested by the company. You know, oh, well, we're working with this guy. You know, we work with some of the coolest companies, the most innovative companies in the world, from, you know, with GCS, from mad kind of, you know, space satellite companies to, you know, crypto exchanges on the marketing platforms to companies like Google, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. So some of the most interesting and exciting technologies in the world. And then you feel like you're part of that. You feel like I placed this person. I built this team. I made this project, you know, and then you think to yourself, yeah, I'm part of turning the wheels of the economy. You know, people always talk. I mean, you probably at Livingstone, it's that hard to find people.
Oh,
right?
It's the hardest thing.
It's the hardest thing. You know?
To find the right people.
Yeah.
You know, we're on a recruitment drive early on this year, and the number of interviews that we needed to deliver to attain one candidate, because you want to get the right person. And it's the culture fit and it's the right attitude, and you realise just how tough that role is itself. And we were working with recruitment organisations, and it's still tough. It's still tough to get the right, because you, like I say, it's a marriage.
Might find someone and they want to go somewhere else. You can't, like, you know, they've got 2 or 3 offers. Generally, the good ones do. So you're battling to get them in. This is what I mean about the game. You know, it can be frustrating, you know, but that's the world I live in every day. Like, how are we going to find these people and the roles that we work on at GCS are never easy jobs. So, yeah, we have a commercial arm. It's finding salespeople. The best salespeople are always working, right? So you have to tempt them out, you know, and that's hard. You know, no one's applying to our job adverts. You know, you have to go and find every single person and persuade them that this is a great opportunity. But this is the whole element of it that I think is really, really important. And yeah, if you get the right person at your business, or any people get the right people in their business, that's what's going to drive you forward. That's what's going to make you a better company. So I feel that the work that we do with the customers really makes them better, you know. And if you see them being successful and seeing them grow and being better companies and being successful, you feel you've been part of that, and you hopefully can kind of help them along on that journey. Now, for me, with GCS itself, with the company, like I said, you know, I worked very closely with a really great team, both in terms of the founders, you know, particularly a guy called Chris Bartlett, but also the people that I've worked with over the years. You know, I've got a business partner called Lisa Forrester, who I've worked with for 13 years. She came in as an academy person, and she's the COO of the business. You know, I've got a number of different people that kind of work in different locations, growing teams that we've grown together as a team. and I like to surround myself with people that have the same level of passion for the business. And that's really, really important for me, so that you feel like this is something that we're building, that we're growing, that is ours. And we created this culture, and this is how we want to have a business. And I think, for me, that's what you get that passion from. I liken it to like writing a book or something. Like, this is my novel, for better or for worse. This is the thing I wrote. So we haven't got to the ending yet, but definitely it's been a kind of pretty wild ride. It's a pretty good story. So yeah, so that to me is that what gives you the love of the company, is seeing it grow, feeling proud by what the customers you've delivered to, the things, the exciting things you've achieved, and then also seeing people's careers grow around you, and seeing like really well high performing teams around you. Like, we made this. This is our team that we made. These are our people. And I think that's what gives you that love and that passion. And that what I feel, just thinking about what you said there earlier, it's all about the passion and the feeling and the love that you have for what you're doing, and that radiates from there.
So let's take you back to the beginning,
Yeah.
effectively, which was, number 3 employee. And let's talk us through that journey, because during that time, we've had recessions, we've had COVID, we've had, challenging economical climate, we've had wars.
Fortunately, only one war.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
let's not have any more.
Yeah.
And
maybe 2, but this one seems a bit more worried. But yeah, carry on.
so you've gone through. So when you first started, so 3 people. So when you went in, what was the initial role, and what were you thinking that you needed to achieve there? Just 3 of you.
If I'm completely honest, I had a chat with the guy. I had 2 job offers. One from Kyocera. Shout out to Kyocera, is a printing manufacturer. For a salesperson, they offered me £12,500 basic to start with commission. And I talked to this other guy called Chris Bartlett, who was the founder of GCS. And we talked about music for about 15 minutes. We're both big music fans, right? So I thought, this guy sounds quite cool. And then he offered me 7,000 basic, no commission for my probation. But I just thought he sounded cool. So I basically didn't have a clue what recruitment was about. I didn't have a clue really anything to do with IT. And I didn't really know what the hell I would be doing. Now, is that a great start to a career? Would we do that to these days? No. But obviously there was no ways to research these things. And it was very, very like mid-90s. Here's a box of cards, make calls. This is what we do on the first day.
So you're back then. I'm trying to, thinking about things. So you're literally picking up the phone, making phone calls to businesses. Or
here's a box of cards. These are your patches. Your cards are in there. Call them. See what happens. Get some jobs on.
There's not, but just go back to the
simple.
what you shared about the options that you had.
Yeah.
For you to take, because most people in most situations would take the higher paid job.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a broad statement, but it's reasonable. What was it more? I know you said it was the personality and the way that you got on chatting about music, but did you was that more of a feelings based decision more than?
Definitely a feelings based decision. Definitely a kind of, Kyocera are a big Japanese corporate, and this is a 2-3 person company with I don't even know what they do. Right? I knew what a printer did, but it's very much for feelings. I felt that this was something that I would enjoy, something that I could work with this person. This person could teach me things, increase my confidence, help me to understand business. I just felt that, go for it that feels this is where you should be, rather than something that maybe on the basic might be better off straight away. Obviously, I looked at the commission scheme, right? And the thing about recruitment, particularly in that type of world, is so if I make these placements on this time, I can earn this amount of money. And then I looked obviously at the commission scheme, and I think this is really important for all salespeople, is to don't look at the basic, look at the commission scheme, because what you want to do is perform at the highest level, right? So what's the highest level? Who's your top biller? How much do they earn? These are the questions I've always asked. Hopefully you do too. So
very much so.
The kind of who's the highest biller? What do they do? Why are they good? How much do they earn? And I worked out that in recruitment, if you're good, if you do the job well, you'll earn really good money because you're making it happen all on your own. You know, you're the person that makes it rain. Whereas obviously in a big corporate, you're not the only person in that chain. There's the people that make the product. There's the people that market the product. There's the people that do the corporate sales. There's people that do the account manager. There's a lot more people to kind of get something out of that particular deal. So I wasn't thinking about it in that detail at the time, but I did look at the feel. I looked at the person that I felt I could learn the most from, because in the end you're starting, right? So you got to try and make the right decision. And then I did think about, I want to be one of the best here. I want to be the best here. And if I am the best here, how much can I earn? And I realized that you can earn a lot more in recruitment if you're good.